There are no more pages. They are all complete. We are going to jump in with our last week of school here. Just a quick review of fractions and decimals. Today it is fractions. So the quick reminder, here it is right here. Months and months and months of school in 4 short, weird partial sentences. Wow, I really gotta get out. All right. Adding, you need common denominators. Subtracting, common denominator. Common, 2 M's. Let's go there. Common denominators, add bottom to the top when borrowing. Multiplying, fractions only, and then you cross cancel. Dividing, fractions only, flip the second number. And then, of course, from there, you can cross cancel. So let's jump into one real quick. What if I had 2 1/3 plus 3 1/4? All right, well, I know that when I add fractions, I need common denominators. So 3 and 4 will both go into 12. So I'm going to do 1/3 times something to give me a 12. And I'm going to do, well, let's say it's 2 1/3 times something. And 3 1/4 times something to give me a 12 on the bottom. 3 times what gives me a 12? That is a 4. So the ugly one I'm using is a 4. Why am I using ugly ones? Because when we multiply by a 1, the number doesn't change its value. It will, however, look very different fraction-wise. This will turn into 2 4/12. 1/4 times 12. I need to find my ugly one. So to find that, bottom number times what equals the other bottom number? 4 times 3 will give me that bottom number of 12. So there's my ugly one. Multiply straight across, and we end up with 3 3/12. So now, I'm just going to rewrite it. I have 2 4/12. I'll rewrite it on the screen. That'll be even better. Plus 3, that's an ugly 3, and 3/12. So, fraction plus the fraction, 7/12. Whole number plus the whole number, 5. I have 5 7/12. And then, of course, can we simplify? No, we can't. Now we are done. Subtracting fractions. What if we had, 3.5 minus 1 3/4? First thing we need to worry about is common denominators. So I can turn the 2 into a 4, and you know what? I can do that in my head. Well, I'll write it out. 3 1/2 times something so that I get a 4 on the bottom. 2 times what will give me that 4? It is 2. So there's the ugly 2 that I'm going to use. So 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. And the 3 comes right on down. So I now have 3 2/4 minus 1 3/4. Where a lot of people go wrong is they'll do 3/4 minus 2/4. No, when we do math, we work from left to right, for crying out loud. So 2/4 minus 3/4, can we do it? No, we can't. So we borrow, and remember, when we borrow, add the bottom to top when borrowing. So the big 3 turns into a big 2. That's the same thing from second grade. Nothing has changed. This 2 right here does not turn into a 12. What we do is we take the bottom number, the 4, we add it to the top, and we get a 6. The reason we do that, we are working at a pizza parlor. I have 3 whole pizzas, and I have 2/4 of a pizza sitting over here. It's a pizza cut up into 4 pieces, and I still have 2 of the pieces left. In order to give our customer 3 slices, I need to take a whole pizza and cut it. So I no longer have 3 whole pizzas, I only have 2 whole pizzas. When I cut it, I'm going to cut it to match the other pizza. That's 4 slices. I'm going to add those 4 brand new slices that I just cut it up into, add it to the 2 crusty slices that have been sitting there under the heat lamp the whole time, and now it's 6/4. That is a cheerleader emergency, but we're going to do that temporarily so that we can finish our problem. 6/4 minus 3/4, 3/4. 2 minus 1, 1. Boom. Can we simplify? Nope. There's our answer. Multiplying fractions. You know, I'm going to turn the paper sideways. Multiplying fractions, what we need to do, 3 1/3 times 2 1/4. We need fractions only. How do we do that? We take the big number times the bottom number plus the top number. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. That turns into 10/3. Bottom number just stays the same. 2 and 1/4. Big times the bottom is 8, plus the top is 9. 4 stays the same. I get 9/4. Whenever we see a fraction times a fraction, we always think, ooh, can I cross cancel? And the answer is yes. What goes into 3 and 9? 3 goes into both. So 3 divided by 3 turns into a 1. 9 divided by 3 turns into a 3. 10 and 4, can I divide those by something? Yes, I can divide those by a 2. 10 divided by 2 is a 5. 4 divided by 2 is a 2. Can I cross cancel anymore? No, I can't. Now I just multiply straight across. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. I end up with 15 over 2. 15 halves is a cheerleader emergency. The big, heavy dude cheerleader is standing on top of the little, tiny cheerleader's shoulders, and she's crying out for help. So in order to do that, cheerleader emergency surgery. We take the 15, we divide by 2. 2 goes into 15 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract, I get 1. Our remainder is our new top number. What we divided by is our bottom number. That is it, 7.5. All right. What if we had division? Let's do 4.5 divided by 3 and 1/4. Oopsie, that is an equal sign, not a division sign. All right, getting hard to hold the paper here. So 4.5 turns into 9 over 2. Fractions only is our first step. So big times the bottom plus the top. Big times the bottom plus the top turns into 13/4. And this is what I have now. All you have to do with division, the only thing that's different, flip the second number. 13/4 turns into 4/13. Just get the refliprical. All right, the real name is the reciprocal, but whatevs. 9 halves will stay 9 halves. And our division sign turns into multiplication. Now that we have that, we are allowed to do the magic. That is cross-canceling. 9 and 13, I can't do anything with those. 2 and the 4, ooh yeah, I can divide both of those by 2. Divide that by 2, I get 1. Divide that by 2, I get 2. Now I just multiply straight across. 18/13. That is a cheerleader emergency. Hold paper. 18 divided by 13 goes in 1 time. 1 times 13 is 13. Subtract, I get 5. 5 is my remainder. That is our new top number. What I divided by is my bottom number. My answer is 1 and 5/13. Alrighty, the Mrs. Pepper's class, the worksheet is going to be attached down in the comments or in the more info section of this page. So look for that. And the worksheet does contain the answers as well if you just scroll over to the second page. So again, adding fractions, common denominators, subtracting fractions, common denominators, and you add the bottom to the top when borrowing. Multiplying, fractions only cross cancel. Division, fractions only, flip the second number. All right, see y'all.